Well, the virus has now killed more than 100 people in China, and new cases have been confirmed around the world.
So you don't want to frighten the American public.
France and South Korea have also got evacuation plans.
But you need to prepare for and assume
strongly warning Americans to avoid all non-essential travel to China.
That this is going to be a real serious problem.
France, Australia, Canada, the US, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, the list goes on.
Health officials are investigating more than 100 possible cases in the US.
Germany, a man has contracted the virus.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
Japan, where a bus driver contracted the virus.
Coronavirus has killed more than 100 people there and infected more than 4,500.
We have to prepare for the worst, always, because if you don't and the worst happens.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, I am the cold open this morning. We ended last night at what, 3 o'clock, 3 a.m.? 3 a.m. broadcast.
Yeah, better than the cold close, which is what we had last night.
It was a cold close and a warm open. Want to welcome everybody to the War Room Pandemic. We're live from the nation's capital. You've got Jack Maxey, Raheem Kassam, Stephen K. Bannon, the entire team that put it on last night. Fantastic. And Fog City Mitch. Oh, excuse me. That's actually Alexander Pritt. From Pennsylvania. I don't know, but Fog City did not answer the opening bell this morning. Okay, last night our coverage, and I heard this from many different sources, including sources that are in control of things that matter, said it is the most extraordinary coverage I ever saw. Between McGinley and Richard Barris, you go through the detailed analytics, county by county, district by district, with the voter file. Right, which is just not done. And then you've got the very sophisticated legal analysis of McGinley. For our audience, we know we got a huge new audience. You're in the War Room, and here's what we do. This is not an entertainment show. We actually run this like a war room. You can see that last night. We're here to give you facts and kind of not when they say hard news on these other channels, that's not hard news, right? It's equivalent of a human interest story, right? So what we do is analytics. Today, we've got Rudy Giuliani, the president's lawyer. We've got Richard Barris is back with his analytics, and we're going to have Bill McGinley in the first hour. Okay, we're going to talk this through. Priyat's an expert in Pennsylvania. We've got a lot going on, including when we get the mayor on here. Last night, at first, I don't know what he's at 2:30 for. I don't know why he's not out in front of Biden, setting the narrative. Just saying, you heard it on the War Room earlier. Set the narrative frame. Don't let somebody come to this thing was not close. This thing was not close. This thing was a blowout. Okay? Electoral college blowout. Got to get in front of it. And you sit there and say, hey, everything stopped. They stopped the counting. At 4 o'clock in the morning, they dumped in Wisconsin. And this is the most audacious thing I've ever heard. It was 138,000 votes.
Yeah.
Absentee ballots coming out of a thing of Milwaukee, and get Barris is going to hear the expert. I think Milwaukee's been going 70-30. Milwaukee's not a 90-10 town anymore. It's 70-30 town. Dump 138,000 of votes. 3,000 for Trump? Are you kidding me? Look, when you're going to steal it, just don't insult.
Make it believable.
Make it believable. I don't look. Okay, all fair is love of war. You're going for the control of the greatest country on earth, and you're going to radically change this. I got that. There's no whining. There's no pearl clutching in the War Room. But you can't insult our intelligence like that. You can't give us 138,000 ballots and have 3,000 Trump and 135,000. That's a little too in our grill. That's just a little too in our grill. I mean, even Broward and West Palm Beach and Philadelphia, they're the best in the world. I'm holding back. Why do you think they stopped counting in Philadelphia last night? They had to figure out what was happening up in Northeast. They had to figure out what was happening in Lackawanna. They had to figure out what was happening out West. This is why the Democrats stopped voting. Oh, they're tired. Are you kidding me? Those guys could work like Trojans. They could go for days, particularly when they're stealing something, when they're backing the pallet truck up. Got another load. Hey, load it up. Lackawanna's a little tight. We need some help here. We understand this is war. We understand what's going on. The information war. 5 days ago, the Washington Post and ABC comes out with a poll in Wisconsin. He's 17 points down. That's to break your spirit. That's to make sure in Wisconsin you do not go out to vote. It's too late. Why am I going to stand in line for 5 hours? He's down by 17 points. My vote doesn't matter. It's all of a piece. President of the United States and his lawyers should have gone into court. First off, shouldn't have been talking at 2:30. Should have been talking at 10:45. So said a gentleman named Stephen K. Bannon yesterday at 10:45. So 11 o'clock news. Hey, think I won here. It's big. Sorry, Biden. Right? And then go into court and get an injunction. Don't take it from them. Hey, they stopped counting. What do you mean? They said at 4 a.m. they dump it. They dump it on you, and then Michigan comes in with another one. This is how they play. It's called Smash Mouth. I'm gonna say something. I have no problem. You're gonna play Smash Mouth? This is politics, not beanbag. This is, as Bill McGinley said, this is not search for truth. This is the acquisition of power. Okay? This is to take this republic in a very different way. We're going to still trying to get the Rudy's. I talked to him at length this morning. He's going to. I know his phone is blowing up. Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid, we already lost Jason Miller. We already lost Greg Manns. We already lost Steve Cortez. We're going to lose. I think we're going to lose Barris. I think we lost Rudy. We're going to lose Rudy. We're going to lose Barris. We're going to lose McGinley. I think they're taking Priot. They can't take Vish and they can't take Dan. Without those two, nothing happens. Vish Burr is not going and Dan's not going.
I guess we have to stay. Are we chained to you?
We're chopped liver.
No. Jack, they would never take first of all, they don't want a conscience over there at the White House, okay? In the campaign. They don't need a conscience. Okay, I want to bring in Richard Barris. Enough with the happy talk. Let's get down to the facts. And by the way, Barris, last night, that was a star turn. We're talking about the over and under before you're going to get snatched from us and go to Fox or go to. I'd tell you one thing. If just Fox News, I'm giving free advice to Lachlan. You got it. No offense. It's a bad look when you send out a Russian guy, right? You send out a Russian guy to make the defense of why you had the outrageously early call in Arizona. It's just, right now, we don't need that. Right? I have no problem with people from Eastern Europe. I love Melania's accent. The Russian thing's okay. It's just where we are as a nation, right? It's just not working for us right now. You got to have Barris, some guy like that, some guy looks like the all-American boy. And I'm not picking on the Russian guy, by the way, who I think gave money to Obama. Is that correct? Do we verify that? Far be it from me to ever throw anything out there that can't be verified. As we said at Breitbart, too good to check. Right? Okay.
I never heard that one.
Okay. Barris, so I want to start, sir, as we left off in the freezing cold last night, and particularly in Wisconsin. I know you didn't go to bed. We've got Richard Barris on now, and Richard Barris is from Big Data Polling. You can follow him on Twitter. How you follow on Twitter? Because you must have picked up a ton of followers last night. You became an international rock star. You and your, Karl Rove's got the whiteboard that never makes sense, right? Barris has got a chart. He's got the precinct. He's got the neighborhood. He's going block by block. No, the voter file says that guy. No, don't go to that guy. So Barris, what's your Twitter handle? Start off with.
@peoples_pundit. I'm pushing on 120 right now.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
You're going to be a lot bigger. Just remember us, our little guys, after you go to the White House, then after you go to get a big TV deal, just remember you started in the war room. Always remember your roots.
I'm not going to Fox.
Here you go. Here's
Don't
my
worry
pledge to you.
that.
Richard, by the time you finish what you're going to tell us, you'll have 120K. That's my promise to you.
Okay, let's do,
nice.
I also want to link, I want everybody to go, we got a new tool. So Drudge has gone so insanely, not just has he gone insanely anti-Trump, I don't actually have a problem with that. The news is just not good. When he was at the top of his game, everybody loses it. Every guy loses his fastball, right? Tom Brady's eventually going to lose. It just happens. And the other thing, he's not at that high level. We have a site up that's going to. I'm not saying you're going to compete. I'm not going to compete with Drudge, but we're going to give you a different perspective on the news. Go to Bannon's War Room right now. It's a news aggregator. You'll see it looks a little. I'm not saying familiar, but it'll give you a warm feeling, right? And you see up there right now, we got The Path. And the Mac Daddy's called The Path. That path would be Pennsylvania, Ms. Priot. It would be next in descending order would be Arizona. And this is where Brother Barris is going to have to stand and deliver. Okay, since everybody in the world's called it except for Barris, the War Room, and the White House. Next is Nevada, right? And I've wasted more time in Nevada chasing Nevada, but hey, I think it's down to 6,000 votes. We're here in Nevada. They already got Clark County. It's all now the desert prairie out there. And last is Michigan, which Michigan, I knew they're going to dump all these AB ballots today. So all the President Trump needs 2 of 4. You get 2 of those 4, he's president of the United States. Any combo. So I want to go back, though, before we get to this for our audience. What happened in Wisconsin specifically? Because when we left the air, the President of the United States, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the President of the United States said, hey, it's over for tonight. You know, everybody stop counting, right? And I don't know whose word he was taking for that, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I think it was at 4:30 or 4 o'clock, all of a sudden, Wisconsin dumped these AB ballots, absentee ballots, they said, all from Milwaukee. And they had virtually zero Trump votes. So, Richard, walk us through, and if we could put your chart up, I would love to put up, not that I don't like looking at you or me on here, our lovely visages, but
you guys still
can
have
you put your chart of Wisconsin? Oh, we're going to get it. We got to get those up, Bish. Okay, we're going to get it here in a minute.
Oh.
Why don't you walk us through it? Just walk us through what happened in Wisconsin, and then we'll get it up.
All right, so last night there were two things. Kenosha, the president was leading in. He had a big lead, but he really didn't need to carry it that big. And there was going to be some absentee ballots. We knew that. So that tightened a little bit. It was about 6,000 out there for Joe Biden.
Hey, Richard, can I hang over for a second? And I want to bring in Rudy real quickly because he's under time pressure.
Yeah, I'm
Can you
here.
just hang with us? I want you to hear Rudy. Mayor Rudy Giuliani is now on. Mayor, I'm kind of lost and confused. The Romans said, fortune favors boldness. Fortune favors the bold. The one thing Donald J. Trump is bold. So I guess just got a couple questions. Why were we at 2:30 in the morning and Joe Biden's up there at like midnight? Why is it a 2.5 hour gap or more? I think Biden was before midnight. Why is Biden at midnight? Why are we at 2.5? And why are we not grabbing this thing by its throat? And quite frankly, when you say, hey, the county stopped for the night, why are you not in federal court getting an injunction to make sure, not take the word of a left-wing Democratic governor and a left-wing Secretary of State and a left-wing Attorney General, but actually go to a federal court and make sure you got it? So can you explain to us why there wasn't more boldness last night?
Well, I can't explain it completely. They should be in court this morning and getting injunctions in each of those places that supposedly set up for that. The reality is, I just can't give you a good answer. I think when he made his statement, it was an excellent statement. But in fact, he had the election won. There's no question that the numbers that were there last night, based on an honest count, could not have disappeared by this morning. It's just not possible to be up 11 points and then 4 hours later have it changed to being even or slightly behind. And I've been in a lot of elections. I've never seen that happen, particularly counting during the night.
Mayor, just to be specific, and we got Richard Barris, the data analytics guy, on. In Wisconsin, they dropped 138,000 absentee ballots. Is that the number? I just want to make sure it's correct. 138,000 absentee ballots. Were the 3,000 Trump votes and 135,000? So this is not even, they're not even being shy about the cheating, right? The stealing. You've been in a lot of elections. Have you ever seen anything held back like that that had 97%? I just want to make sure we get the math right. That much that it wasn't a Tammany Hall type of situation or Broward County where we got to wait and hold back, or Philadelphia where we got to hold back?
I cannot see with the percentages that existed last night how you could make that kind of change. You'd virtually have to have 9 out of 10 votes, 8 out of 10 votes. And those states were too close. Even in the cities underperformed for Biden. It was true in Philadelphia. It was true in Milwaukee. So they weren't delivering the same. They were delivering big numbers for Biden, but not the same big, gigantic numbers that Hillary got. And they weren't all city votes. So I don't see how the number could have dropped like that. It almost seems impossible. Right now, he should be having a lead in both Michigan and Wisconsin. Maybe it dropped 2-3% from last night. Maybe Wisconsin, which was closer, it was about 5 or 6 points last night when we went to bed. Maybe it'd be 1 or 2 points now. And Michigan was 9%.
Hey, Mayor, we got to take a short commercial break. Can we hold you over for the next segment?
Sure.
I know you're pressed for time. Okay, short commercial break. We're going to return with Mayor Rudy Giuliani and Richard Barris from Big Data Polling.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra-soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Jim and Joanne are here to pick up the same prescription. They both know the system is not on their side. They both know drug costs are out of control. But one of them is taking back control with GoodRx.
Next.
So while he's paying that much, even with his insurance, she's paying this much just by using GoodRx. Use GoodRx to compare prices at pharmacies in your area and stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today and take back control.
Work. It's what drives the economy and keeps our country humming. American workers in American factories, designing, engineering, and manufacturing high-quality products right here on our shores. At WeatherTech, we've been doing it for decades, building all our factories and providing great jobs right here at home. We're proud to say when you look at a WeatherTech floor liner, cargo liner, or even cup foam, and ask yourself, where was it made? The answer will always be in America. WeatherTech.com.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, John Fredericks Radio Network on Real America's Voice. That's Dish Channel 219 and Comcast Channel 113 and Newsmax TV. That is in 70 million homes. Chris Ruddy and the team down in Palm Beach. G News, G Media, distributed everywhere. If you're on YouTube, what should they do? Part of our new audience.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who subscribed. We have 166,000 subscribers now. Remember, it was just the other day we passed 100,000, so it's pretty amazing. I want to make sure that everybody hits that subscribe button, share, and you can download the podcast on whatever your podcast platform is. Go search War Room Pandemic.
We're not here for happy talk. We're here for data analytics. It would give you the information and you, it leads to your enlightenment. But we're here for the information. We'll go to Rudy Giuliani. So, Mayor Giuliani. It's obvious what's happening here. Philadelphia shuts down because they can't figure out how many votes they're going to need to steal it. But they keep counting in Wisconsin because in the dark of the night, they're going to drop 138,000 votes. It was 135,000 for Biden and 3,000 for Trump. Going to get the boys up in upper Wisconsin worked up a tad, I think. So, Mayor Giuliani, walk us through in your mind, because you're a wartime consigliere. Tell me, what's the plan going forward? Because last night I was a little confused coming out of there. And I got Chris Christie, in the morning, or Chris Christie's terrible, should never do it, not right, not smart politically, shouldn't have said that. And I got a rule. I got the Christie rule in life. Anything Christie says to do politically, do the exact opposite.
Did Christie think it was a mistake to say that we won?
Okay. If Chris Christie says do something, do the exact opposite, and it'll work out for you. So, Mayor,
well, I mean, the reality is, the reality
what should
is
happen here. What's going
the reality
to happen?
is
What
that
needs to happen?
The reality is he did win. If in fact the networks played by the rules they played for in the last 100 elections, the projections for every one of those states were basically impossible to win. It was impossible for Biden to win in Georgia and in North Carolina. It's still impossible for him to win there, and they should be called.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
There's 2.5% ahead in both of those places. There's only 6% of the vote left. Virtually, Biden would have to get 8 out of 10 remaining votes. There's only 6% to play with to turn around 2.5%, which means you got to get 5 of 6%. So what is that? That's 80%. So, I mean, they don't do arithmetic. What I'm basically saying is, if this were the election of 1994 or 1992, rather, or 1996 or 2000, at that number you would call it, because it's inconceivable you would get 8 out of 10 votes unless you stole them. Pennsylvania, we were at 74% in Pennsylvania and 13 points ahead. So do the arithmetic as to how you turn around 13 points with only 36% to work with. These are the
26%.
So what I'm saying, 26%. I'm sorry, 26%. Even worse. When they sit in projection rooms and do this, these are the numbers on which they're making projections, where it becomes unrealistic, in the extreme. So they didn't give him those. They held those back. And right now, they are deliberately holding back Georgia, and they're holding back, I'm talking about the press now, they're holding back Georgia, and they're holding back North Carolina, because they want to see if they can call Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada, and that'll give Joe 270. Now, he may not really have 270, because, in fact, the calls they make may not be valid calls. But once they say that number, it becomes very, very hard to deal with. We'll have to go to court and unravel it. But the media has been playing a game like that. You're going to play now. You didn't set the narrative. You let Biden set the narrative. Now you're just being criticized. You're going to play without the moral high ground. Remember, when Bush won, he was never behind. The moral high ground is you had the victory. You had the victory last night when you should have declared it and said, "Hey, we got the moral high ground here. We're winning." Go to court with the victory first thing this morning. One of the things that I.
But first thing, hang on. I disagree with that. Not first thing this morning. They got federal judges that are up all night for this on voting night.
Oh no, they could have done last night also. It's Philadelphia.
Why in Wisconsin? Why didn't you go in Wisconsin and get an injunction? I know people saying, "Oh, you're stopping the actual counting. Trump's the devil." Well, here's what you have stopped: 138,000 votes getting dumped at 4 o'clock in the morning in the dead of night. That were 90. It wasn't 90%, 99%, which is just mathematically impossible. That's just that's a lie.
That's a printing machine.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Why didn't you go? Why weren't you guys in court last night getting an injunction?
Because the president was assured that there were a significant number, if not a large number, of Republicans covering that to make sure that no irregularities would take place. That we were particularly in Wisconsin, there was really good coverage, given the fact that Wisconsin has had so many very close races. They have very, very good people. Scott Walker, remember the Scott Walker races, all of that?
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Basically, that machine was helping to protect the vote.
Although I do, I love Scott Walker. I love the crowd. Reince Priebus, a buddy, great guy, the wingman on our victory in 16 with you, Rudy. However, it does ring in my mind, Wisconsin nice, mm-hmm. Right? Do we have a little maybe too much Wisconsin nice? Because the guys across the football from us are not nice. They don't mind treating you like a moron. And they don't mind coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning and dumping 138,000 votes and say, "Hey, suck on," and hey, Bannon, why don't you guys embrace the suck? Because here it comes. Here comes. You're never going to reverse and get Wisconsin back. You guys are all high-fiving. We got Wisconsin, right? Bannon, you got it up on your chart, right? Kofit's for closers. Close that, dude, right? They're coming right in your grill, and they don't care. Mayor, so I know we only got a couple minutes with you, so tell us go forward. Mayor, you're Italian. I know you're a great student of history of the Roman legions. Fortune favors boldness. Fortune favors the bold. That was the motto of the Roman legion, right?
You're damn right.
What are we doing here?
And that's the way Donald Trump, if you let him be himself, that's the way he operates. We know that. And so I mean, now
I'm gonna get a little wartime consigliere, and I'm gonna get a little Trump being Trump today. Is this what we're gonna get?
We're gonna try real hard.
I just want I know media matters. The Washington
We're going to try real hard. I mean, I think there's still a path. There is a path to victory. If we take Georgia and which we have, damn it, we have Georgia, right? And we have North Carolina, and now it turns out that Nevada is an 7,000 vote difference.
7,000. But let's go before that. You got to secure Pennsylvania. Okay, Georgia secured. North Carolina secured.
And we've got to
no
secure
games.
Pennsylvania, but we still have a very substantial lead with very, very little to go. And basically, we've got to go into every county in Pennsylvania, and we have got to get the monitor. I recommended last night that we get a monitor to count the vote in Pennsylvania.
You mean a monitor from the Justice Department?
Yeah, I mean somebody appointed as an independent monitor, and then will be in charge of all of the vote count. Make sure and observe whether or not it's legal and report it to a court. That's the only way you can stop that kind of thievery.
Look, you're a big city. You're a Northeast big city mayor, with your sister city being, Philadelphia, right? You know about Philadelphia, right? So tell our audience. We got 2 minutes, Mayor. How do you stop this thing from being stolen by guys who do this for a living? Okay, this is what they do. This is why they're in charge. Philadelphia is imploding, and they're still in charge because, like Stalin said, I don't care who votes. I care who counts the votes. What are you going to do, Mayor?
You've got to go both into state and the federal court, try to get an injunction from one or the other or a restraining order to stop the count until.
What do you say about people? What do you say about the whole mantra at social media, at Zuckerberg, at Twitter? Every vote counts. You're now sitting there as a fascist. This is fascist.
You're not going to not count. You're going to stop the count until you can have an independent observer who can assure the court that it's a legitimate count, not just a Republican and the Democrat, but someone appointed by the court who can watch the vote and make sure that if 100,000 votes gets put in, they're put aside, they're counted separately, and they can be challenged. And they're just not mixed into the whole group of votes, so you never find them again. It's too close now to allow these political hacks to do the counting.
Okay, Mayor, I know you got to bounce. Here's the thing. You got your WABC show. You're on WABC 3 o'clock every afternoon, 3 to 4.
Well, if I have to, I'll skip it today. We'll see. This is a big day.
You've got Dr. Maria Ryan is always a good replacement. She's fantastic.
Dr. Maria Ryan is right here running everything.
She's fantastic. She can do radio with the best of them. Okay. You've also got the podcast. They replay your show. You get the Sunday show. What's your Twitter handle, Mayor? Everybody wants to get on here. We got a massive audience this morning. What's Rudy's Twitter handle?
Rudy Giuliani. That's it. Put down Rudy Giuliani.
Okay,
you get me. Okay.
Mayor, you're a patriot and a hero.
I'll tweet out from the White House, and I'll call you. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Just before we bring Rich back in, I just want to update the audience on the live breaking news as we get it. The Biden campaign having a call with reporters this morning saying Joe Biden is on track to win this election. He will be the next president of the United States. Jen O'Malley Dillon says, "We believe we're on a clear path to victory by this afternoon." They actually are conceding that Georgia is a toss-up, North Carolina leading Trump. They're saying they expect to win Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin should be called, in their words, very shortly.
They're going to run the tables is what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're going to run the tables. Okay, take a short commercial break. Richard Barris will tell us if that's true or not. By the way, I didn't see the media going through a meltdown when they're sitting there going, we got a path to victory, right? President Trump says it. I won. We may pay a big price for the 2:30 in the morning call last night. History will tell you. Okay, folks, we need to saddle up. We need to saddle up, and Richard Barris is going to tell us why next.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
I'm going to give you a real cold open. Priyat, what's the breaking news?
The Biden campaign said that they're prepared to claim victory at 5 p.m. today.
Okay, write that down, ladies and gentlemen. 5 p.m. today, Biden. I don't hear the media melting down about Biden announcing this. 5 p.m. today, they're going to claim they won, and they're going to claim the presidency. I think they're saying they're going to do it, but they're giving us Georgia and North Carolina, essentially.
Right.
And then what are they saying?
Yeah, and
your path to victory, Bannon's War Room path to victory, looks like it's path to victory for Joe Biden. That's what they're saying. What does it say?
Well, and this is what I don't like about the whole situation. When you talk about them already conceding certain things, they feel that they're in an incredibly strong position. The Wisconsin results, they say they expect in. Just this morning, Malio Dillon, who's the campaign manager, just had a call with reporters. She said they're on a clear path to victory by this afternoon. Alexander Priyat saying 5 p.m. Georgia is a toss-up. North Carolina leaning Trump, but they expect to win Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan, and as I say, Wisconsin too.
Okay, let's bring in now Richard Barris. Richard, I want to start with, and we've also got Bill McGinley. He's listening in. If we need, we'll bring Bill in also. The 1-2 punch. Richard Barris, do we have that? Can we put the charts up? Do we have those yet? Okay,
looks like I just got it.
What's going on? Okay, we need to get on this. Okay. Let's go through Wisconsin. Walk us through what happened after the president left the podium. It seemed like they were stopping voting to this morning. Everybody's going to regroup in the morning. That's, I think, what you believed also. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to put it. We were told, too, by officials in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, that was it for tomorrow, and that was the word. So, operative word being tomorrow in the AM. And what happened, because, I said, I'm not gonna pack it in yet. I want to see what happens in the wee hours of the morning. About 4 a.m. hit, and at 4 a.m., that's when Milwaukee started to dump. Listen, here's what's important. There are precincts that are going to come in much stronger for Joe Biden than other areas. But the story of the night was that he just didn't hit his turnout marks everywhere. That's why the victory for President Trump looked bigger in these states than it did in 2016, where it was constantly a fight back and forth. And in some of these urban areas, they were holding, waiting for Kenosha. How many more ballots do we have for Joe Biden in Kenosha? And it's, just was miraculously the right number of ballots, turnout being disproportionately high, 95% going to Joe Biden. It was number counting. I mean, and if it wasn't, then why were we doing this at 4 a.m.? And then we saw them move on to Michigan. And now, by the way, as you were talking to Mayor Giuliani, they're getting Pennsylvania within striking distance with the Southeast. And then Philadelphia is going to drop the remaining 250 they're going to try to get him within the 250 line. They'll make almost all those ballots will be for Biden. That'll pull Trump below 20% in Philadelphia, and they're going to try to put Biden over the top like that. And I believe this is in motion. But
hang on. But I got to go back to what is going to be a rallying cry for the deplorables. You got to have a rally point. Right? When you fall back a little bit, you got to have a rally point. You dig in there, and then you can go back. I got to go back to this the absentee ballots in Wisconsin. When we left the air last night, we're winning Wisconsin by a big number. Had they given any projection of what the total gross number of absentee ballots were that you had? Did you have a handle on the absentee ballots in Wisconsin?
Right. So they're not, and they haven't been, and they did not for this entire election. Every time, I get a lot of questions, the audience has to understand, every other election, we know what the count is. For absentee ballots, for election day voting, for in-person early voting. This year, we just simply did not know that. We weren't privy to that information, and that's why you saw a range on our chart. Maybe 64% is in, up to 80%. What happened at the end, Steve, is that really what should have been about 60, 70,000 ballots based on how turnout was going ended up being 95,000 ballots, 105,000 ballots. And they were breaking in large margins for Joe Biden. And one of the dumps in Philadelphia, which they said they would not
Okay, hang on. Stop. You're confusing things. I don't want to talk about I don't care about Pennsylvania right now. I only care about one thing.
All right.
The only thing I care about in Milwaukee. Stop. I only care about one thing in the universe. That thing is 138,000 ballots that came out of Wisconsin last night. Did people have, because this is the key that picks the lock, okay? Did people know, did you know, or was that information put out by Wisconsin? Did we know the gross number of absentee ballots that were out there, potentially?
Not really. We had a range, and that is on the high end.
What's the range? Okay, well, what was the range?
The range could have been anywhere from about 80 to 120, and really, in truth, he was underperforming everywhere, and not just in Milwaukee. And
Stop.
Really
I don't care about. Underperform. Rich, hang on. Underperforming is a different. I'll get to that. I'm talking about the gross number.
Yeah. Turnout.
I'm talking about the gross number. I don't care about turnout. All I care about is absentee ballots. Are you and I in sync here? Right? Because this is key. If you can prove this, then the whole thing blows up. They didn't really put out a number on absentee ballots. That's correct. They put out a range.
Range
in Wisconsin.
That's all we had. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Was the range ever said that it'd be somewhere near 140,000, 135,000, 140,000? Was that ever? Did that ever come up, or that number ever come up?
Yeah, we were really expecting more like 100.
Okay, so when that number came out, that was a surprise to you, just the gross number, right?
It was.
Now, Rich, I got a question. Have when those things come in, and I think you and I talked about this, Milwaukee, Biden had been underperforming. These cities don't break 90-10 like they used to. It was roughly 70-30. Is that, I don't want to put words in it, but Biden was doing kind of 70-30 in Milwaukee. Is that correct?
He was doing actually a little bit worse until that dump came. Dane County is that big kind of spread that you're talking about. So here we have now it's about 70-30 with this dump. And then out in Dane County where you really see Democrats blow out Republicans, this is the 75-25, 80-20 county. That was in already. So it really did come down to Milwaukee. And there was also about 6,000 out in Kenosha. And when that Kenosha number was known, that's when
that 138,000. Well, that 138,000 would have split if it was like the rest. It would have split roughly 70-30. Correct?
A little bit better actually. Probably, but we can assume that. Yeah.
And am I correct? I just want to make sure the audience understands this. Of the 138,000 that came at 4:30 or 4:45 in the morning. How many of those votes were Biden votes of the 138,000?
Basically all but I think 5,000.
How is that? You do this for a living, and you're a pro's pro. How is mathematically that possible? How can that be possible?
They're going to argue that you got to look at this at the precinct level. Unfortunately, all of that information we normally have in an election cycle, that was not available this time. So, it's really flying half. They wanted you, basically.
So I'm supposed to believe at the most pro-Biden precincts, it just happened to ask for absentee ballots in this thing, and those happen to be ones that were counted and all of a sudden, just after the president made this statement, really an hour to 90 minutes afterwards, voila, it happened to be counted, and it just got dumped out there, which is 90. What's the math? 99%, 98%.
It's
have you
95,
ever seen anything?
96.
95.
Yeah.
96%. Have you, in your professional career, ever seen a number? That's why I wanted to get the scale at a number 138,000, where a gross tonnage of that, where it came out where something was 96%. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, but not with these size chunks. Now, really, it can happen certain precincts to precincts, but we're talking about a lot of votes.
Hang on. That's what I'm asking. Have you ever seen at this scale at 130? You're talking 135, 140,000 votes. Not some precinct where you got 100 votes or 500 votes, but where you've got this scale, right? Have you ever seen something at 96%?
No, not on this scale. Not at this level.
What happened in Wisconsin? What do you think happened in Wisconsin, Rich?
I think they waited to see what those absentee ballots looked like in Kenosha. They had about 6,000, and then they did the math on that. Trump had a couple of in Manitowoc. He had a couple of returns out there, and it didn't budge until that stuff really trickled in. And then once it did, that's it. Steve, if this was going to be on the up and up, they shouldn't have did it at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's really what is going to send people to the moon. It should have been done out in the open. There was really no reason why it could not have been done last night. We were told it would not be done until the next day, but 4 a.m. is not the next day. That's not – you got to do this stuff out in the open.
Can we bring in – Rich, can you hang on for 1 second? I want to bring Bill McGinley in. I want him to comment on – is it possible to do that? Is that too hard? Okay, can we bring in Bill McGinley for 1 second? I've got Rich on, and Rich is going to hold. Bill, you've heard Rich walk through this analysis of and by the way, if we got to give him the call in, let's shift him over. We got Bill. You've heard Rich Barris at Big Data Polling walk through what happened in Wisconsin, right? We got about 2 minutes, and then I got to go to break. Is this the way things are supposed to happen? And do you believe you're the pro's pro in this? That 96% of 135 or 140,000 ballots mysteriously kind of arrives after the president says this in the middle of the night, and it turns out it's overwhelmingly shifts, basically gives Wisconsin to Joe Biden. Give us your thoughts.
Depends upon the precincts that reported. Rich just said that he didn't have precinct level data. And that's what matters. And this is why I told you last night, you asked me what's happening. And the lawyers should be sitting with the data guys and the political types, figuring out what's going on, which precincts hadn't reported, and everything else. The reason that Joe Biden was able to go out last night and say we have confidence is because that's exactly what they did. The president went out and made his proclamation. I'm assuming that was after he consulted with his campaign, the data, the political, and the lawyers to figure out what was still outstanding and what his likelihood of success was, and made the proclamation. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of mystery about what's going on here. My question is, while all this was happening last night, while they were counting the absentee ballots from these different precincts, I think they were around Milwaukee, did the campaign have representatives there observing the count? Those are the first people who should be asked the question. Did you see anything that raised any concerns with you? If not, then this was just a ballot dump in the middle of the night.
The answer we got from Rudy Giuliani, from the mayor, they said, hey, they had, the kind of Scott Walker guys. They've gone through tough situations before. They had a quote-unquote fully deployed team in Wisconsin. I'm sure we'll get more detail on that in a later day. But for purposes of discussion, let's assume that happened. I tell you what, Bill, if you and Rich can hang on for a second, we've got to go to a short commercial break. Raheem, you've got some breaking news?
Yeah, I just want to make clear as well that O'Malley Dillon, the campaign manager for Joe Biden, says there could well be a Wisconsin recount.
And Stepien said that this morning on a call with reporters about an hour ago. He said the same thing, that they are going to be calling for a recount in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm sure that is Bill McGinley's been saying at the beginning. Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. Alexandra Priat, Jack Maxey, Raheem Kassam, Stephen K. Bannon, and we have the legal hammer. We have our legal Thor, that would be Bill McGinley, and we have the brains of the operation, Richard Barris, who I got so many from both you guys, got so many incredible compliments last night that it was a 8-hour show that had not 1 second of happy talk. It was all signal, not noise. That's what you get here in the War Room. We're going to return in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life. They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Is that what a Yale education gets you? You got to go round, no, out round. Okay,
there's like a scene from Monty Python or something in here.
Okay, there's no directions given in the War Room. We're back. Okay, what did we tell you weeks and weeks and weeks ago? We told you that the social media, Milesguo said it, that the social media is going to become an absolute weapon, right? And it's becoming a weapon. What's happening to the President of the United States right now, the Commander-in-Chief and the leader of the free world?
Basically every tweet that the president is putting out right now is getting shut down and suppressed by Twitter. 15 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, 48 minutes ago. Let me read you some of these as well.
GTV and G News, you're subtitling us in Mandarin. Don't think that our firewall is worse than your firewall. They don't take Xi down.
Yeah.
Right? They don't take Wan Xishan down. They don't take the Global Times down. They're taking down the President of the United States. If the President of the United States does not call Bill Barr now, today, this moment, in what is it, Section 232 of the Defense Act, and send U.S. Marshals out to San Francisco and arrest Jack Dorsey today. I said it on Vice the other day, and that interview was from 2 weeks ago. I knew this moment was going to come. When some punk like Jack Dorsey is going to take down and suppress the free speech of the Commander-in-Chief. What else? We got Barris and McGinley coming back. What else?
Look, I mean, if you look at these tweets, so one of them says, last night I was leading often solidly in many key states. In almost all instances, Democrat run and controlled. Then, one by one, they started to magically disappear as surprise ballot dumps were counted. Very strange, and the pollsters got it completely and historically wrong. Zapped. How come every time they count mail-in ballot dumps, they are so devastating? Their percentage and power of destruction. Zapped. What is this all about, he asks, and he points to the 128,000 plus dump from Michigan last night. Zapped. Steve, you couldn't be more correct. This is the moment, and I don't mean in an hour, I don't mean in 2 hours.
Right now.
I mean right now. Twitter HQ, don't just arrest Jack Dorsey, seize every piece of equipment in there. Take the thing down. They are impacting this election. They're calling it for one side. This cannot be allowed to happen.
The war dance is fine, but it's time to stop the war dance. We saw the war dance last night, 2:30 in the morning. And you know what they did? Here's what they thought of the war dance. They dumped 138,000 votes in your head and said, hey, suck on that. Okay? They're out to destroy you. And they're out to destroy the people you represent. And they don't play by the rules. If they played by the rules, you wouldn't have had Wisconsin in the middle of the night. If they played by the rules, you wouldn't have Jack Dorsey taking down your ability to speak to the nation, to the world, and to your followers. Jack.
Well, listen,
Maxey.
I think what everyone has to understand, our way of life is under assault, and the first document that's under assault is the Constitution of the United States. As little children, we learn what our First Amendment right is, the freedom of speech. And they are suppressing the First Amendment rights of the first officer of the United States. What do you think that means for you, deplorables?
He's the chief magistrate. Okay, I want to go to Bill McGinley. We're going to get to Richard Barris, the brains behind this, in a second. McGinley, the Biden campaign has come out and said, hey, 5 o'clock today, we win. We're going to have a press conference, announce he's President of the United States, start talking about transition, start talking about his cabinet picks. Probably walk up and say, I got a cabinet pick already, right? Make some news. What options does the President of the United States have right now? You're in the Oval talking to him. What do you tell him?
You need to have Stepien get with the data and the political guys to analyze the data, because if that call at 5 p.m. by the Biden campaign is going to be wrong, they need to prepare a presentation why it's being made prematurely. They need to buy themselves some time to get into these states, almost 6 states that look like they could potentially go to a recount. This is going to be all about facts on the ground. This is where credibility is going to matter. whatever presentation is made by the Trump campaign needs to be credible and not just bluster. They need to be able to point to specific data where the ballots are outstanding, talk about some of the requested absentees that may not have been returned to the election authorities. They need to get with the legal team, and they need to sound very confident. If they can't sound confident in their data, if they can't sound confident in their political analysis, then unfortunately all they have left is just to make these declarations, and the Biden campaign is going to run the table on them.
Would you go into? Would you actually go into court and start filing today injunctions, try to get TROs, try to get everything to stop?
Depends on what the data and
everything in place.
Depends on what the data and the political analysis says. Right? I mean, if the votes outstanding are all coming, votes outstanding are all coming from the Biden areas, right? The areas where they expect to go, then it's going to be a hard message to sell. And frankly, that's where they need to start saying, which would contradict last night, where they need to say we need to let this process play out. Recounts discover problems with election administration. There are times when precincts that report into the county reports into the Secretary of State's office, and there are transcription errors, right? So instead of reporting 1,000 ballots, they left off a 0, and it only gets reported up as 100. These are the types of things that they need to be looking for. Right? Are there any anomalies out of the precinct to the county to the Secretary of State's office? Because if there are, that could explain why you only got 5% of the vote out of some of these counties when that just isn't the historical norm. So this is why, and I sound like a broken record, data matters.
No, you're good.
You've got to have a good data operation. And otherwise you're flying blind.
Bill, what last question in Philadelphia particularly, is anything you would do about what's going on in Philadelphia? They actually stopped their own vote. We got about 30 seconds. What would you do in Philadelphia, specifically legally?
Last night, I would have gone into court, and because they had all these ballots laying around, I would have even invited the Democrats to come in and made arrangements for third parties such as sheriffs or police officers to guard the ballots. So that when the counting resumed in the morning, everybody had confidence that there was no tampering with the ballots. I don't think there's tampering with the ballots, but this is a confidence issue, right? A lot of the guardrails that we have up aren't about voter fraud. What they are about is efficient and competent election administration. And Philadelphia does not have the best track record, so let's get a third party in there to observe these ballots so that when the count resumes, everybody has confidence that you're counting the same universe of ballots that was sitting in the room when the counting stopped.
Okay, Bill, what's your Twitter handle? You've become a star, so we want to get as many people following you as possible. What's your Twitter handle?
At WJ McGinley. That's at WJMCGINLEY.
Okay, we'll tweet it out too. Okay, Bill, thank you very much. We're going to take a short commercial break. Richard Barris is going to walk us through the path to victory for President Trump is 2 of the following 4 states, Pennsylvania, in descending order of probability, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, and Michigan. And I got to tell you about dire straits. When your number 2 pick has already been called by the Associated Press and everybody else in the known universe, it's a tough day.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus, it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.